KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
Yo, what's up? I'ma kick it with mine, y'all know. Yo, Slim, can I kick it? Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven up above. Chick of tea is simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying? What? Yo. Here we go.
This is Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. We here each and every Saturday morning from 7 to 9, right here on KNON 89.3 FM, the voice of the people. Got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things going on, but you also have your pencil and paper ready, and get ready for Mr. Greg Barber. We'll be coming with our Solution in Action Today job line. Our SAT job line will be coming up later on in the program, and you can get gainful employment by listening to Mr. Greg Barber, and he'll be coming up later on in the program. Our special guest this morning we are to have just in a few moments, Dr. Juanita Wallace. She is the Dallas branch president of the NAACP. We're going to be talking about things that went on in 12 and what NAACP outlook for 2013. So we'll be waiting on Dr. Wallace to call, and we'll be getting her in just a minute. But while we're waiting on Dr. Wallace call, we have a story here, and it's very interesting. It's something that's concerned me over the years. The mayor of Washington, D.C. is demanding that the city's major football team, the Washington so-called Redskins, change its name as it is offensive to Native Americans. It's offensive. Mayor Vincent Gray said that the team wants to move from his current playing field outside the Capitol or inside the borders of the District of Columbia. They need to consider a new moniker. The word Redskin is considered a racial slur against Native Americans, and all the names that have been seen in the football team face decades of legal battles. The Washington Redskins. I remember one year they were winning and they came up with this tomahawk chop. I'm off there. They have me. Can you hear me, Annie? Okay. They came up with this tomahawk chop, and I'll never forget it. And the Native Americans were very upset about it. They were upset, saying, "Why do y'all make such a mockery of us and calling us Redskins? Now you're talking about, since your team is winning this year, you're giving." They had this thing they were doing was the tomahawk chop. I remember that. This has been very, very upsetting for years, that you would use different ethnic groups to demean them, and cause them, havoc and reap havoc on these people. Because what if they were called the Washington Blackskins? What if they were called the Washington Whiteskins? The Washington Yellowskins, or whatever? This is very degrading and very demeaning. And I'm so glad Mayor Gray is taking a stand. He is tired of the demeaning. What's wrong with it? I remember certain colleges used to have certain names, but they changed. I remember when Stanford University was called the Stanford Indians. They changed that to the Stanford Cardinals. They stood for something. They stood for something there at Stanford. Why is it in America people find delight in demeaning people, demeaning different cultures? Why is it that we cannot use as our mascots? The mascot is supposed to give something to your team, a standard of what you feel like your team ought to be. It should be something that you would have as, say, the Bears, the Lions, or the Tigers, or something like that, because you're saying your team has the strength, the character, the stamina of one of these great beasts, and that's fine. That's fine. But why do you have to name them after people? That's not fine. And I hope Mayor Gray stand his ground on this particular situation and get the Redskins, get little Danny to change the name of his team. I mean, it makes no sense. How do you feel about it? Give me a call, 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. How do you feel like it? How do you feel about this change, this name, the Washington Redskins? I know they're the arch rivals of the Cowboys, and they whooped the Cowboys' ears off a couple of weeks ago, but that's still not a good name. I'm so glad that the Cowboys didn't go try to use some offensive name when they named them. See, you've had 3 professional football teams in Dallas. In 1952, you had the Dallas Texans. Today, they're the Indianapolis Colts. They left here and went to Baltimore and became the Baltimore Colts. In 1960, you had to come here. The Dallas Texans, they were named that again. Now, today, they're the Kansas City Chiefs. What about that? Is that an offensive name? The Kansas City Chiefs. I could deal with the Chiefs a little better than I could with the Redskins. The Chiefs is saying that these are the men of power, the men of authority with their people. But at the same time, that could be seen as offensive. But the Redskins, no. Other teams, we've had them to happen right here in the Metroplex. University of Texas at Arlington used to be called the Arlington Rebels. That had to be changed. Up there and Frisco, they used to be called the Coons. That had to be changed. Ethnic slurs. Where do we go with ethnic slurs of people and talking about them? And where do we get it? Now, I do know we have Notre Dame. They're the Fighting Irish. But that's shown in a positive light. That's shown in a positive. It's not shown in a negative light. When you hear the Fighting Irish, you don't think of negative connotation like you do, say, with the Redskins. When we look at all the different schools of thought, how certain names, certain statements, certain sayings are put downs on people, this needs to go in America. And in all places, this is the nation's capital. The capital has a professional team with a ethnic slur. What do you think about that? The nation's capital This is not one of the teams off in the off-beaten trail way up in the Northwest. Say like the Seattle Seahawks, that's way off the beaten path, way up there. Nobody hardly ever goes up there anyway, just a few. But this is the nation's capital, carrying a name like the Redskins. I've always despised it. I've never liked it. I know how racist and offensive it can be to people, and that's hurtful. People seem to don't care about hurting other people's feelings about this. They don't seem to care. Our nation's capital. You know, what about the Giants? That's a good name. You know, you big guys. You're playing in New York. The Jets, good name. Buffalo Bills, that's a good name. He was a cowboy, and they come out with, you know, that's not offensive to people. But to call somebody out of their name, that's very, very offensive. Give us a call, 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to Evangelist Wiley. Evangelist Wiley. Good morning, Evangelist Wiley.
How you doing, Reverend?
Fine. How are you doing this morning?
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, we live in a nation that doesn't seem to want to right the ship when it comes to the sensitive areas of topic of discussion. Mm-hmm. But this is what it is, and this is what we have. But we can do better as a nation if we all apply ourselves and, like you said, stand your ground. Mm-hmm. But at a more serious token, a note of interest, we have more social ills and social pitfalls, more demeaning than the name of a franchise sports event or sports team.
If you were Indian, I don't know if you would feel that way. To have the biggest sport in America, to have your name called every day, because we have ESPN and all the other sports networks and everything calling your name all day, every day. I think Native Americans should be very offended. And the most ones I've ever met, they were offended. We've done shows on this. It's been about 20 years ago or so. We did shows on this because they were wondering, why did these people have to be called the Redskins? They had, at that particular time, I'm sure they have many now and played with them, but they had no people of Native American ancestry to play with the Redskins. So why did they have to be called the Redskins? Brother, are you black?
Yes, sir.
What if they were called, the Washington Darkies?
Yeah, I can.
You'd be mad every time you cut your TV on, wouldn't you?
No, not every time you cut your TV on, but that would be offensive nevertheless. But this is the type of society we live in. It's imperfect, and until the Lord and Master comes back, it will remain imperfect, but we should try and strive to coexist with all races.
Yeah, but does not mean, no, that doesn't mean we have to lay down and let people trample upon us, because he says, occupy until he come. We are the salt of the earth. Why don't we stand up to things? We are to see that things are done right. We are to do our best. God didn't tell us to come here and just merely exist and get trampled upon, just go along just to get along. If that was the case, nothing would have changed. We'd still be in slavery if we just take everything that's presented to us.
That's true, Reverend Barnett. That is so true. But
Well,
like I said...
do you think they should change their name?
Oh, yeah. I support a name change. It would be for the better, and there's other names that can substitute for a derogatory name, and it would be for the best interest of all parties involved.
Well, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and when we begin to see how these names really sort of play a subliminal game with us, it may not register in your conscious, but it registers in your subconscious. And many times you hear stuff and see things, and you go negative towards certain things, or even certain people, and you don't know why. Because something has registered in your subconscious that you're unaware of that cause you to react in a certain way. And I think this is one of those things that we as an American people should dispose of, and really the president needs to say something about this. He needs to say something about it. He's living in Washington at the time, and it seems like he'll be there for the next 4 years. And he needs to address that. And also he needs to address statehood for Washington, D.C. He needs to address that. Bill Clinton,
you're right on point.
Bill Clinton had it on his license tag on his limousine. If Bill Clinton can do it, I know good and well President Obama should be able to do that. Make it a statehood. Here, these people, you're talking about taxation without representation. Washington, D.C. is a living example of it. And then to have a derogatory name on your football team, and you notice they got rid of that team. They called the Washington Senators. That was the worst team in the history of baseball. They run them out of town. They dumped them on us. And I guess, how many years did it take for the Rangers to go to the World Series? I guess they were here about 35 years or so. 39 years, yeah. They dumped them. They flushed them down to us. But no, I really believe that people should respect other people. I just give you my true feelings about it. I wouldn't want to be called with a derogatory name, and I don't think you would, and I don't think anybody appreciate being called a derogatory name. Alrighty. I thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You have a wonderful day. Now, here's the line, 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to Reverend Moss in Fort Worth. All right.
Good morning, Reverend Barnett.
Good morning, Reverend Moss. How are you this morning?
You get some good topics. I mean, you get some good ones. Listen, yeah, those defensive names. Listen, back in the late 1800s and the early 1900s during the war, they separated the black soldiers from the white, even though they was in the same deal.
Oh, yeah.
And they named them the Buffalo Soldiers.
Right.
You know?
Well,
it's time, it should have been before now, that we as a people, it's time to say, stop.
Yeah. Well, and when you start talking about that, that bears in mind, I had Uncle James, that was in World War II. He fought in World War II. And he was an MP. He fought in the German theater over in Germany. They would capture the German soldiers, and he would come back on a ship to the United States, and they would hand them over. But when they hand them over, the German soldiers, the prisoners, could go into a restaurant. This was in I think he said South Carolina, somewhere down in there. They could go into the restaurant, the prisoners now, I'm talking about the Germans, and sit down and eat. And they were American soldiers. The black soldiers couldn't go in and eat. They'd have to go out around in the back, in the alley, and they'd pass them sandwiches out of the window. Now, they captured these people, and they turned them over to the white soldiers. And they couldn't even go in there in the country they were fighting for. They couldn't sit down and eat like human beings. So, I mean, you know, it's so many things that have gone on. And some of my uncles and all that were in the military, they would tell me different things and tell me stories. My grandmother, my great-grandmother, my great-grandmother was born into slavery. She was a slave. And some things are so horrendous. If I said some of them, y'all wouldn't believe this. You wouldn't believe it. Some of the stories they used to tell and about things that once happened. So, you know, it's something that we need to stop and put an end to in America these offensive names and calling people out of their names and making a mockery of their name. Do you remember the Tomahawk Chop they came up with the year they had a winning season one year?
Right.
And people thought it was all right. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm up against a break. I'm up against a short break, and you can call me at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893, and we'll be right back.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227. Or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
KNON presents its first Gospel Explosion benefit concert of 2013, featuring the Mighty Travelers.
Don't tell me God can't fix it.
Buddy and the Straightway Travelers. And more. Saturday, January 26, 2013. Doors open at 5 p.m. at No Walls Ministry, located at 3200 South Lancaster Road in Suite 408 in the back of Lancaster Keys Shopping Center in Dallas. Tickets available at Bubba's Fat Burgers and Barbecue in West Dallas, Elaine's Kitchen in South Dallas, Comp Cleaners in Fort Worth, Forever Young Records in Grand Prairie. God's got a blessing with your name on it, so you don't want to miss this KNON Gospel Explosion benefit concert, hosted by KNON's own Francis Smith and Greg Smith. For more information, 469-471-4180. That's 469-471-4180.
Want to hear some great Texas blues? KNON has the CD for you. KNON's Texas Blues Radio Volume 5, our latest blues compilation CD to benefit community radio, sponsored by Forever Young Records. This CD features 15 tracks and 60 minutes of great original Dallas-Fort Worth blues from Tutu Jones, Blues Boy Bo, Buddy Whittington, Andrea Dawson, Kirkland James, Sonny Colley, Johnny Red and the Roosters, the Chris Watson Band, the Two Tones, the Rough Cut Blues Band, Jeff Stone and Charlie Love, Dave Millsap, Sirloin and the Ash Kicking Machine, Michael J. and the Paul Bird Band, and JJ and the Detonators. We're only selling 1,000 copies and it will never be reissued. Get your copy now at Forever Young Records in Grand Prairie, Record Town in Fort Worth, and in Dallas at Bill's Records and Rewind Music. The CD is available as an MP3 download at KNON.org. All proceeds benefit community radio, KNON. For more info on Texas Blues Radio Volume 5, visit us at KNON.org. Get your copy now and hear some real Texas blues. Your ears will thank you for it.
We're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. And you can call us at 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. I don't know what happened with Miss Wallace. Casey Thomas, give me a call and let's see what's going on. All righty? But right now, we're talking about the Washington so-called Redskins, very offensive. And the Mayor Gray of Washington, D.C., wants them. He said that they can get out, as far as he's concerned. They don't have to practice in Washington. They don't have to play in Washington. He's sick of it. And I've just learned that the founder of the Redskins, they knew he was very, very, very racist. And I remember the Redskins getting their first black football player. And his name was Bobby Mitchell. He was traded from the Cleveland Browns in order, because Washington had an opportunity to draft Ernie Davis, who was the first African American to ever win the Heisman Trophy. So the Cleveland Browns got Ernie Davis, and Bobby Mitchell went to Washington. They traded. And the reason why Cleveland wanted Ernie Davis so bad was because he had gone to Syracuse and he had broken all of Jim Brown's records. But he died of leukemia in 1961. He died of leukemia. Never played a down in the NFL, but he's one of the greatest football players that ever played a game. He was a great football player. I remember the Cotton Bowl of 61. He came here and ran all over the University of Texas. The Orangemen were national champs in 61, and he just mowed over Texas like they were just a part of the turf out there. He first played from scrimmage. He hit one straight up the middle, about 90 yards. He just ran all over them, and but he never got a chance to play. But all of this plays into this thing, naming, giving your sports teams or whatever offensive names. This is bad. This is bad. And several Native American lawyers have beaten down and beaten back college teams from doing it, and they changed their name. But what about this high profile? This is one of your more popular professional teams, the Washington so-called Redskins, and it is so offensive. It's time to change. All right, you call me at 972-647-1893. Let's go to Ike on line 3, all righty? Good morning, Ike.
Good morning, Marion Barnett.
Fine. How are you this morning?
Doing great. I appreciate you for bringing up topics that people don't like to talk about or discuss or whatever. But you bring out a good point, and I like it, the fact that you said if you were an Indian or Native American, it would be offensive to you, and I think it is offensive to the Native Americans.
Sure, they've been crying about this and screaming and fighting this legally and doing everything for years. But these people are the owners of the Redskins. What's his name? Danny Snyder. They just refuse to give the team a dignified name. Why do you have to be offensive to people? It doesn't make any difference on the field. Your mascot is supposed to depict what your thinking is. If you are a tiger or a lion or a bear or whatever, that should be. But what does it mean when you say the Redskins?
Right. And I agree with you because if we're going to be freedom fighters or speak up about justice, we need to speak up for justice straight across the board, whether you black, white, or whatever your ethnic is. But because I experienced, you used to hear me talk all the time about my son's situation. Right. When I was sitting in his trial, the prosecutor called the kids that was in the video a pack of hyenas. They called them buzzards and vultures. Yeah. Never did call them young kids, or adolescents, or teenagers. Oh, no. And I tried out against that, and I was told by a legal attorney that as long as he didn't say black hyenas. Well, hyena is offensive to me. And I still fighting the same case, haven't gotten anything done, and I've been fighting it for about 9 years now, and I'm going to continue to fight. If I got to fight it till I die, if I got to fight it by myself, but go in a courtroom and call kids hyenas.
Reverend Wright and I have talked about your case and others that we got to get on top of in 2013. But here's what. If you notice, this guy up there in Connecticut, he's called a young man. Had that have been a black kid, a black young man that killed 20-something people, and
he's been an animal.
He's been an animal, a thug. They would have called him just the way it is. He's evil. They don't call him evil. They said something's wrong. They're looking back into his history. His mother calls it. They look for everything else, but calling it like it is.
Well, look at your governor here. Look at his camp where he went camping and hunting it. Yeah. Niggerhead. We should have raised all kind of saying about that.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of it, but now I'm aware of it now, but it didn't surprise me. Did that surprise you?
Right. It surprised me at all. But, that kind of, if we don't start standing up against this, we got a lot of stuff in place that's out of place. Yeah. And once we start crying out and fighting against it, that's when you're going to get the change. You're not going to get the change by saying, well, it's just the way it is.
No, God.
So we're not going to accept
that. That drives me up a wall. This is the way it is. And we had one caller to call me last week and says, what was that? He said, you need to be careful that we don't end up hating and being like them. Look, black people don't hate anybody but themselves.
Right. I'm a yield.
We'll forgive everybody in the world but ourselves.
Right.
And
I'm gonna yield. I'm gonna let somebody else talk. I'm not gonna.
All right.
The airways. And thank you and God bless you. And I appreciate you and Reverend Wright.
All righty. Thank you. All right. That clears the line. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. All righty. Today in Black History. This is January 12th, 1971. The Congressional Black Caucus. The Congressional Black Caucus was organized. It was founded on this day, 1971. Educator Mordecai Johnson was born on this day in 1890. All right. In 1948, listen to this. Blacks able to study law. The Supreme Court ruled that blacks should be given an opportunity to study law in state institutions. State institutions up until 1948 barred black people from studying law or becoming lawyers. Can you believe that? 1948. I was born when we couldn't be a lawyer. Couldn't study law in a state institution. I mean, how racist can you be? How backwards can you be? Yes, I'm glad the law changed, but as late as 1948, you're saying we could not study law in state institutions? Give me a break. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Also, we got other tidbits here. I got so much here on the Black history, things that has really permeated our race. Just in 1955, as late as 1955, Marion Anderson becomes the first black person to appear in the Metropolitan Opera House. 1955. She's known as the world's greatest contralto. She's known as the world's greatest contralto, but she could not sing in the Metropolitan Opera House. They would not allow blacks to sing there. 1955. All righty. 972-647-1893. Those of you, you're calling, but hang on. We hung up on a call or something. 972-647-1893. Just please keep, let the line. All right. We hung up on a call. All righty. 972-647-1893. We'll take you in the order in which you call. All righty. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. All right, let's go to line one and say good morning to Keisha. Good morning, Keisha. Hello?
Hopefully you're not getting any feedback. I can't get my radio off.
All right, do you hear me now?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, I appreciate your show. I was listening y'all on the weekdays. I would listen to you as I drive in to work. My children are outside the door, but this is the first time I've been able to get through. All the times that you would say that there were no women listening or whatever, I actually was trying to get through. And
you were listening that Saturday?
Yeah, I try to get through a lot of the times, and you like, where are the women? I'm like, I'm dialing.
Well, most of the time our lines stay jammed up, but you're through now. And what do you think about what we're talking about?
Well, I appreciate you bringing up the topic. I think a lot of times we're desensitized to other people's plight, but it's something, because I remember when I was a kid, they used to have a restaurant called Sambo's.
Oh, well,
or something like that.
I think in certain parts of the country they still have Sambo's, don't they?
And nobody really thinks about how offensive that is,
and
or whatever.
The thing about it, they would be offended if they called the restaurant Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
And really, that means they have never read Harriet Beecher Stowe, Uncle Tom's Cabin. Because Uncle Tom was the good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Sambo and Gumbo were the no good rascals.
That's right.
And
That's right.
But they named it all because people don't really understand that Uncle Tom was a good man. He was a great man.
Well, the Lord even said, they're going to call good bad and bad good, But I wanted to call and encourage you. Sometimes we get so offended that we can't move on. And it's funny because I saw this film some years ago called Something the Lord Made. Mm-hmm. And it was about a black man who actually started heart surgery. His name was Vivian. I can't remember his last name. But he actually...
He did the first open heart surgery?
Right.
Yes, that was an African American doctor.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was it had touched my heart, the fact that this one gentleman who figured it out, they didn't even want to give him credit.
No. That's
and
happened in a whole lot of cases that an African American discovered it, but they had to give credit to a white person.
Right,
and
right.
They did it.
Right. They made him serve at their parties, things like that. But I wanted to call and encourage you. There have been times that you've said things that it kind of hurt my heart, like you would say, well, where are the black women? Do you know a black woman that's pregnant who's married? I was one. I am one. I have a husband. So...
When did I say that? That's a long time. You've been listening to me a long time, haven't you?
Yes, sir. But I just wanted to call and encourage you.
You didn't call me.
My feelings got hurt when I heard that.
Why didn't you call me?
Huh?
Why did you?
I couldn't get it.
I'm gonna tell you, one of the times I did it, I had 2 tickets to the Grambling Prairie View game, and I was gonna give it to
That's right.
a pregnant married black woman.
Yeah, I couldn't get through.
Huh?
I couldn't get through. All the people like, yeah, you ain't gonna get one. Okay, but
I was gonna give them to you. Yeah, but I'm glad you got enough courage to call me. All right.
But and please continue with the history of Dallas, Texas. I really do enjoy that because they don't talk about the history a lot.
No.
Out here, and there's so many people who are transplanted here. They don't know.
No, they don't know about Dallas history. There has been a lot of action, a lot of happenings in Dallas. See what it is. Dallas papers and other Dallas media is not going to cover it because they don't want to realize we did have a lot of victories here in the city of Dallas, and most of the people that really pushed hard and got victories are still alive in Dallas today, but they don't want you to talk about them, and most people don't know about it because very few people ever talk about it.
Oh, and please talk about Soul 73 going off there. I'll get off the phone with you. God bless you.
All right, thank you. All right, they cleared the line, 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 4 and say good morning to Mr. Brown. All righty, Mr. Brown.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Reverend Barnett. May God bless you.
God bless you.
I'm a regular listener every day, pretty much, to KNON. And I was calling, wanting to know how can I get in touch with that gentleman that's been fighting this case for 9 years. I have a son that was a murder done last year. My son was given 50 years for the murder on the first offense. And, sir, for the senior court proceedings that I set in all through April, well, it only lasted 4 days, actually. Went to court on a Saturday, which I was totally overwhelmed on that. And I just set this week with his accomplice. They are trying to give him the same charge. Now, the number one state witness, Mr. Barnett, have said it could have been an accident because they was all struggling over the weapon. And I am totally... sir, my son doing 50 years. Gang related, they have not proven any gang relation. My son don't have any tattoos that depict gang, nor does he dress as a gang, nor have he had any criminal activity as a gang. And I'm going to fight until I die, and that's why I want this gentleman's number, because...
okay, let me give you his name. His name is Mr. Ike Steen. And I know him, And I'll give you his number. Call me back when I go up there at 9 o'clock. I'll give you Mr. Steen's number, and I need to get your number. Also,
yes, sir. I give you my number with Mr. Barnett. We got a problem here in Texas. The prosecutors and the defense down there, they are all working together. I give my right leg to prove it, and I will prove it.
Was this in Dallas County?
No, sir. This is in Tarrant County, Fort Worth.
This is over in Fort Worth.
I live in Arlington, Texas. This thing happened in Arlington, and every witness have changed their story, sir. I took notes from the day the trial started on my son, and I took the notes from the day they started on his accomplice this week. I got notes. I got transcripts. This is wrong, and I'm not going to tolerate it.
You're going to have to understand, and people are going to have to understand, this is a new form of slavery.
Yes,
what they're looking at, they could kill less by giving your son 50 years on a first offense that could have been an accident. But what they're looking at, hey, here's a young buck that can work hard. A lot of people don't realize this. Some of these corporations have quit outsourcing their jobs overseas. They're insourcing their jobs here in America in penitentiaries. And they're getting a lot of the things that you use every day, those products, and I'm told some of the stuff you're driving now is made in penitentiaries.
You're right.
And they'll pay them about 7 cents or 27 cents an hour to get their things made. And see, prisons is big business now. They're on the market. They're on the stock market. They're owned privately. And certain states and certain counties guarantee these prisoners, these prison builders and owners, a certain number of prisoners. They'll keep them 75% filled if they would build a prison in their area, in their county. It's big business now. So we're going to have to fight this all the way. I tell you what, I'm up against a short break. Getting a signal. Y'all going twice more time. Thank you for your call and comment. All right. Give me 972-647-1893 is the number to call. 972-647-1893. We'll be right back.
Hey, baby.
Sonny Bryan's Catering presents the 14th annual KNON Blues Festival on Saturday, January 26th and Sunday, January 27th at Poor David's Pub. Join us for the biggest blues event of the year, starring the Royal Rhythmaires, Bobby Patterson, Blues Boy Bo, the Aaron Burton Band, Andrew Jr. Boy Jones featuring Kerry LaPie, Pete Barbeck and Seventh Son, Bonafide Blues, the Deep Ellum Rhythm Kings, the Dallas Blues All-Stars featuring Hash Brown and Mike Morgan, the KNON Blues Review with J-Back, Sonny Boy Mark, Blue Lisa, and Jeff Stone, Big Charles Young, the Drew Elaine Band with special guest Sirloin, and the Super Kings. This is the big one. You never know who's going to show up as a special guest. Don't miss out on this huge blues show. Advance tickets are only $15 and are available now at knon.org, Bill's Records in Dallas, and Forever Young in Grand Prairie. See you at the 14th annual KNON Blues Festival presented by Sonny Bryan's Catering.
Hey, baby.
If you are the low-income parent or guardian of children in need of childcare, there are programs available in the area that may be just right for you and your kids. Texas Workforce Commission offers solutions for families in need of assistance. Find them on the web at twc.state.tx.us. Click on Programs and Services in the blue bar at the bottom of the page to find out if you are eligible. 211 Texas, a program of the Texas Health and Human Services Commission, also offers child care provider referrals for families seeking subsidized child care. Contact them at 211texas.org or dial 211. If dialing 211 directly doesn't work on your telephone, you can call 877-541-7905.
We're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. And we started off talking about the Washington Redskins, so-called Redskins. Why did they have to name the team, give it such an offensive name? Why is it so degrading an ethnic group by calling them a name that's offensive to people. The name itself is not offensive, but why would you call your team the Redskins? Why would you do things like that? It makes no sense. And this is the nation's capital. This is the nation's capital of all cities that should have some type of forethought and really not do such a thing. You would think it would be Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. It's not a team that's way off somewhere, off the beaten path. No, this is one of America's more popular National Football League teams. One of the more popular ones. It is a team that's just known as very popular because it was popular with its rivalries against the Dallas Cowboys, and I never did like it when they would call the Cowboys versus the Indians and all of this stuff like that. No. Cowboys is fine, but to degrade an ethnic group, that's very insensitive. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. All right, let's go to line 3 and say good morning to Kim. All righty, good morning, Kim. Hello, Kim. Is Kim? You got Kim on? Hello, Kim. Oh, I guess Kim is gone. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. An insensitive way of doing things. Saying things. You say, well, what's in the name? What's in it? Why is it you call and be upset about this? Well, subliminal messages that are sent through words. Words and pictures. They show you a Native American, and then they wanted to give it this thing, the tomahawk chop one year, and they finally screamed that out. And I never forget, President Jimmy Carter got caught up in that mess, and he said it was all right to do the tomahawk chop. No, and he was a liberal president. But no, you have to understand, this did not make Native Americans feel good. There was nothing there that would make Native Americans feel good. Nothing there. And when we began to understand how insensitive we all can be by calling people derogatory names and saying derogatory things about people, yes, it's true. Words do hurt. They hurt. There ain't nothing but a saying, 6 and stones may break my bones, but talk don't bother me. Yes, talk bothers everybody. Talk bothers. Talk can reflect. Talk can develop. Talk can inspire. Talk can cause you to think and wonder. Talk can make you creative. Talk can just edify and magnify and glorify. But at the same time, talk has no place as being offensive in America by depicting a whole group of people in a negative way by trying to use their name negative. We can't do that, and we shouldn't do that. And really, the Washington team needs to change that name, and we need to call. If we can get a name, if we can get a line to the Washington Redskins. Y'all look me up the phone number to the Washington Redskins. We need to bombard them. I wish they were still in the playoffs. They got knocked out by the Seahawks on last week. They got knocked out of the playoffs. But we still need to bombard them. They should be bombarded nationwide, admonishing them that people are aware and sick and tired of the derogatory way they're using this Native American group, sick and tired of being put down. And think about it, people. People love, I guess they get off on trying to depict people in a negative light. But it's sad that the Washington Redskins, the so-called Redskins, and sometimes when they want to talk about them, they call them the Deadskins and all of this. negative type talk about who these people are. We need to make sure that we do our part here in Dallas. And if we can get a number to call, get the Redskins number. Y'all call, get the Redskins number. Give you the number out on the radio and say, and let them know you're from Dallas. You're from their arch rivals. See, they play up anything to get to make money. And then you can't tell me that Danny Snyder is not aware. He's intelligent. He's a billionaire. He has a lot of clout, a lot of influence in the NFL. You can't tell me that he's not sensitive to what that moniker is doing to people. And we all need to be sensitive. We all need to know how things are, how things should be. And we shouldn't be so hostile and hold these hostilities and think more about people's feelings on this particular issue or any issue that's derogatory to a group of people. I don't know. We love derogatory names. We love to put each other down. I realize my ethnic group, we have so many derogatory names that have been put on us. In fact, they put them on us so hard, we call ourselves these names. We call ourselves negative names. So maybe to a lot of African Americans it really don't really matter, because we love to call ourselves a derogatory name. And it's sad that as an ethnic group that anybody should be demeaned or demoralized, talked about, put down, stepped on, stomped on, brutalized, and done wrong. And see, when these names are put on people, others will sometimes act out on their names and put people down and say things about them that they shouldn't say. They would just somehow, some way, think that you're less of a human being because you wear a certain name. This is sad. This is bad, and it needs to end in America. It's as bad. It's bad. It's bad. We find even in the media, and there's nothing in the world worse than the media. Oh my God, they lie to you and talk about the liberal media. There's no liberal media out there. The media puts down people, especially African American people. You'd never hear or see a white person do something real bad and they called him a thug or her thug. Let a black person do something and listen at the names they call them. Listen at the names they give them. You never hear them say, he had a bad childhood, his mother or father, someone in the family did something to him. You never hear that about black people. They don't go into the background. They just say, this is an evil person. He needs to be done away with. Even drugs. Drugs in Plano, oh, those children, oh, they just, they have been taken advantage of, and they're victimized, and we need to get some help for the children here in Plano. We can have this and have these, our children caught up on this, because we got to protect our children and make sure that they are protected and taken care of. But now, if you did the same thing in South Dallas or Oak Cliff or Pleasant Grove, throw those thugs in jail, lock them up, put them away. This is the media that does this. They brainwash you, people. They work against you. Wake up and start thinking with a third ear and seeing with a third eye. See how you are taught to despise yourself and those who are around you. A lot of times people are acting out what they've been told to act out and been told to be. They put on BET, Black Entertainment Network, and turned our people out. Our daughters begin to dance and act like little dogs on there and get naked and vulgar. Our people used to have more dignity and pride than that. But because they saw it on television, now they think it's all right. And just to think, Dr. King, a native of Atlanta, Georgia, died. And here we got the housewives of Atlanta. Dirt like that. Cheap dirt like that on TV. And people are sitting up watching and giggling and smiling. How far have we fallen, people? Give me a call. 972-647-1893. Give me a call. And see whether you agree or disagree. Call me. Because it's a sad situation when we get so far down the line that we're talking about trying to reach a point of where we can go and build ourselves up as a people, become first-class citizens. How are you going to be a first-class citizen? And we got too many of our young people, our young boys, is just too many of them. Not all, but too many of them are just totally lost. They don't have a job. They're not going to get one because they have a criminal background history. We who have opportunities haven't taken advantage of the opportunities that we've had to create businesses where we could create jobs to hire our own people. When are we going to wake up, people? When are we going to wake up? And I know there are a lot of you out there listening right now think you have arrived. There are a lot of you. Oh, there are a lot of you. Oh, you think you've got it made in the shade and everything, and don't realize you turned the curve and you headed back in the direction that you once come from. You're headed back in that same direction, and you don't even know it, and you're not aware of it. Because as your neighborhood and everything crumbles around you, you find yourselves in a decadent position, and you'll be there before you know it. Churches, are we preaching about the truth? Are we telling them about the character of Jesus? How we should live the life in order to have the life that God would have us to be. The way of the transgressor is hard. It's vile. It's really a hard way to go. And why, if you're on the bottom, why would you make the bottom comfortable for yourself being on the bottom? Have we been down and out so long we don't know which way up? We don't know which way is up. We just don't seem to really be in touch with ourselves. Have we lost something? We've lost something along the way, trying to be somebody that we are not, trying to be what they told us or who they told us we are. 972-647-1893 is that number to call. What is it? What is it? What is it? Where is the truth? Which way is up? 972-647-1893 is the number to call. We need to get ourselves together and do things. Now, this is only a small segment of African American, but it's too many. And if you're behind in the race, you can't afford to carry a lot of dead weight. We got to get everybody up and running. Everybody moving forward. Everybody needs to do something and carry their own weight. Businessmen need to carry your weight. Educators, carry your weight. Working everyday people, carry your weight. Everybody, mothers, fathers, brothers, uncles, carry your weight. Carry it. And carry it by demonstrating a wholesome environment. Old men, stocking caps on your head. Old men sagging now. Let's start carrying ourselves in a way of dignity. All right, those of you, that's who's on the line. Just hold on the line, and after we take this short break, and after you hear from Doc Dockery, then we'll be right back.
You're listening to KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
The ivory tower of academia has become overshadowed by a new edifice on campus that is reaching ridiculous heights, the Tower of Mammon. As public universities have been driven by budget-whacking lawmakers to seek ever more private funding, what were once centers of free thinking are increasingly dominated by corporate sales gimmicks. A lot of schools are taking a much more corporate approach, exalted a PR executive who works with top administrators, marveling that, quote, a CMO didn't even exist on most campuses 10 years ago. A what? A chief marketing officer. Marketing what? As explained by the CMO of the University of California system, the changing funding landscape requires universities to sell themselves to moneyed elites, which means academic institutions must rework what he calls their visual identities. Forget intellectual pursuits, we're talking about corporate branding, complete with the kind of ridiculous come-ons that hawkers of consumer products often barf up. Iowa's Drake University, for example, rebranded itself a couple of years ago with the slogan Drake Plus. That was intended to sell students and donors alike on the clever equation that Drake plus U would equal remarkable results, even excellence. This might have been just an inane but innocuous bit of PR puffery, except that the school's marketing geniuses chose to reach for PR artistry, substituting the letter D to refer to Drake. Yes, that meant that the official brand they created to characterize their institution of higher learning was D+. Not exactly a standard of academic excellence. This is Jim Hightower saying, educational achievement is not a product of marketers, but of educators. A school with plenty of good teachers will sell itself. So here's a concept. Fire the CMO and hire a couple more teachers.
Yo, what's up? I'm gonna kick it with mine, y'all know. What's up? Can I kick it? Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around.
All right, Reverend Barnett, I want to thank you for letting me have this couple minutes of airtime to let people know how they can find you on your show on YouTube. You can dial, here we go, I'm using the wrong words, go to your URL. Type youtube.com and then /Two Hats Publishing, one word, and you'll find our page. Or you can go to our KNON website now and look up your show, and you will find our come through. Okay, you can find us You can find us on the each individual show that we are doing videocasts and podcasts on.
Okay, so. Would you give that out again? Give that address again on the internet.
It's YouTube, YOUTUBE.com / and TWOHATS publishing PUBL. Can I spell PULPS? It's 2 in the morning for me. And do that, and you'll find our page and all the shows that we have recorded since October 6th. Will be there. And we'll be there as long as YouTube is, I understand. But we will keep a list on the KNON website of the last 4 that we have done recorded for you.
Well, Doc, when are you going to be able to get me into Germany?
But Germany? I don't know, but maybe we talk a little louder, it might work.
So I have to holler from Dallas to get in.
Yeah, we'll have to holler, yeah.
They won't let me in on YouTube.
Nope. Sorry, they got a roadblock on you. We'll have to file a protest.
All right. We're going to have to go to the German consulate and file a protest against that.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Doc. All righty. That was Doc Dockery. All righty. He told you how to pick us up on YouTube. And you can pick us up this morning and get in on the show at 972-647-1893. We thank God that we are being broadcast worldwide. 972-647-1893. All right. Let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Lee. All right. Good morning, Lee. Is Lee gone? All right, y'all calling and hey, what are y'all calling on these cell phones? Y'all need to get some of these cell phones that don't have a limitation on your minutes. I know if you got minutes on there, you don't want to hold a while, but you all can call us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. All righty, okay. All righty, let's look at some inventions this morning in African American history. All right, on the date, January 6th, W.B. Purvis patented the fountain pen. Black man patent the fountain pen. All right, did you know that? All right, Harold Perry becomes the second black Roman Catholic bishop in the U.S. This was in 1966, where you got your second African American bishop in the United States of America. All right, 1989, Congressman John Conyers commissioned a study on reparations in the United States Congress. 1989, John Conyers, congressman from the state of Michigan, tried to get a study together on reparations for African Americans on this date, 1989. All righty, I got so much over here, but you give us a call, 972-647-1893. All right. Also on this date, poet and novelist Paul Laurence Dunbar. He dies on this day in 1906. Paul Laurence Dunbar. And on today, Phi Beta Sigma fraternity, founded at Howard University. All right, on January 8th, 1914. Phi Beta Sigma. Oh, we got so much more. All right, let's see what you'd like to hear. I can't give you all of this, but we got our sister Thelma Joyce White, civil rights activist, is born on this date, January 10th, in Marlin, Texas. We always try to get a Texan in here, from Marlin, Texas, a civil rights activist, Thelma White. All right. Charles Anderson, on this date, 1936, becomes the first black member of the Kentucky legislature. And in 1936, a brother is voted in the Kentucky legislature in 1936. Doc is looking at me crazy. Now this one I didn't know. 19th. Can you imagine 36? I'm not even. He probably had to come through the back door, didn't he, to get into the state house? Can you? Now I know. See, we pull this stuff on the computer, but this one I've never heard of. Charles Anderson in 1936, and we need to find out, could he come through the front door of the Capitol building? I wonder about this. I'm going to have to pull this up. All right, in 1976, on this date, Hank Aaron receives the 60th NAACP Spin-Yarn Medal of Freedom. Hank Aaron, great basketball player. All right, you can call me at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to the line. I guess which one is it? Line 2. All right, let's go to Ezra on line 2. All righty. No, that's a new line there. That one hasn't been answered. Let's go to Ezra. Just pull that one. Yeah, that's a line that hasn't been answered. All righty. Yeah, that one hasn't been answered. We have 3 and 4 lighted up. 3 and 4. Bring me one of those, Clint. All right, there you go. All right, let's go. Is this Ezra on line 3?
No, this is Tony.
All right, Tony, go right here, Tony. All right.
Yes. What I wanted to add to your conversation this morning is that what we have done is assimilated so far to the majority culture that we forgot that volunteerism is a virtue too.
That's That's right. You're so right, man. You're right, Tony.
And you know, we have become dependent on the government for every need, to the point where we the inventors, the people who have marked the black community, you know, as far as in the leaders who have struggled, you know, to get to where they've gotten. That we're not creative anymore. We're not inventive anymore. We're not innovators. What we have done is we have said, okay, let's sit on this path to riches, and we have settled for this common, mediocre life. And you know, and you have people who have ideals, who created Twitter, who created Yahoo and Google. Well, you know, we've had a person who created the cordless phone that was black.
He was a black man from Terrell, Texas, created the cordless phone.
So what has happened is
nothing since.
What has happened is the school system as a whole has indoctrinated us not to learn anything. It taught us how to be settled, and rich people do not want people who think. I don't want anybody. I just need you to work in my corporations. I need you to work in my fields, whether they're warehouses, whether they're any kind of business, as workers. I don't need you as a thinker. And so what has happened is the black community has assimilated so far to the main culture that now when we want something done, it's hard to get done. The Jewish community said this is our community, this is our doctrine, this is what we do, and we're going to do it our way. They make up maybe 2 or 3% of the American population, but control a lot of power.
Yes, they do. They do because they work together. They understand who they are. They understand if they divide themselves, they will be destroyed. They understand this society. Although financially and every which way you can think of, the Jewish community have arrived.
Yes.
We haven't arrived on any hand, but there are those out there right now, I meet them every day, who are convinced we have arrived.
And one thing I wanted to add, Reverend Barnett, and maybe you know some people, and this is the reason I suggest this to you. The African American Museum is a jewel, but the problem is, like, they have a book fair every year, and I never know about it until its actual date, and I'm actually working on that date. They need access to this new technology like Twitter and Facebook, you know, and they have a mural from one of the universities down in Florida, and I saw it in the guide, in the Dollar's Guide. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even know that it was here, so I could take my son to go see it. And you know, its relevancy is dependent on its audience. You have all these new art museums downtown Dallas. They're promoting and they're doing all these wonderful things. The African American Museum is back in like the telegraph days when it comes to communicating to the wide audience. So I would suggest
and that's our fault, because we need to be contributing to the African American Museum. They need, I'm sure they can use all the funds that our community can produce. If we don't have anything, it's our fault. You got plenty of people that's making plenty of money, and if you're not making a whole lot of money, you can give something to organizations like the African American Museum, and it's not up to other folk or white people or any other people to contribute to our organization. We can do these things ourselves. Until we take the initiative to work for ourselves, you know, it's going to be rough. Nobody's going to want to support people that don't support themselves.
All right, thank you.
All righty, thank you. All righty, that clears the line. 972-647-1893. Is this Ezra on 2? All right, let's go to line 2 and say good morning to Ezra. All righty.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing, Reverend Barnett?
Fine. You doing
I
right?
just want to commend you on your program.
Oh, thank you. Is this Dr. Davis?
Yes, it is. This one just left, Ezra Davis.
All right.
I just got home, but I do want to know I am eating breakfast.
Yeah, that's what you say. You say you
I
at
know
home.
I'm eating breakfast right here.
For those who weren't listening, Dr. Davis got this hollering over the mic, telling his wife, "Fix my breakfast." Get me some. Have it ready for when I get there. Well,
hello.
You sound like you probably at Big Boys or somewhere.
I'm right. Just say hello.
Yeah. I don't hear. Hello. Who am I speaking with?
I'm Sister Davis.
What's your first name?
Eleanor.
All right. Did you fix his breakfast?
Yeah, he eating right now.
And what you gonna do to him when he get through?
He better go to bed and go to sleep.
All right. Okay. All right. Yes.
I just want to commend you on your program, and you bring out a lot of points, like the name Washington Redskins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sports inclined, but I never thought about it. But it is derogatory.
Oh yeah.
And I'm from Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember the Birmingham Black Barons.
Yeah. Well,
that was derogatory.
Well, they were called barons, and that's not such a bad thing. Here's what: when you just say Redskins, and and all of that, they call people by. When they want to give them a degrading name, they use certain things, skin colors, or some low-life type animal. That's why I didn't like the young lady, Gabby Douglas. I didn't like her being called the flying. What was that? What was she, flying raccoon, or what was that they called?
Flying coon.
The flying squirrel.
Yes, sir.
See, a squirrel is a rodent.
You're right.
And I no, that's bad. You don't give a. And this was a child, 16 years old, although very gifted, was still a child, and you calling her the flying squirrel. I never heard them give any of the other white gymnasts derogatory names like that.
I also want you to let you know that I'm one of the teenagers that marched in the racial demonstration. When I was 13 years old, I went to jail with Martin Luther King. I got sprayed with the water hose. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well.
And what our young people need to wake up and realize that it's more to it than just being a rap artist.
Well, they gone from rap now. Most of them want to be on what they call this kind of television they got out now. Reality TV. Is that what it is? They all wants to be a reality star, which means you have no talent. That's all reality TV. You got a bunch of talentless people out there doing nothing but making money.
And Reverend Barnett, I heard him mention Facebook. It's sad that so many of our African American people would get on there, and not all of them are young. I mean, in some of the derogatory things they do on there, some of the degrading pictures. I see young ladies getting on there half clothed. And
half clothed.
Why are they doing this thing there?
Yeah, it's sad. This is what we're falling to. But when you have generations who did not teach the next generation about our struggle and about our history and about the culture and the class that we've had as a people, although we were even enslaved, although we were in poverty, we still had dignity and pride within ourselves. All of that is basically lost with a lot of our young people now. It's gone.
So, Reverend Barnett, I'm going to let it get off, but I want to commend you once again. You stay encouraged.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, bye-bye.
Appreciate your calling. All right, that's 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line one and say good morning to Dr. Edwards. All right. Hello, Doc. Look here. Could you hold on 1 second? I'm going past my break time. Well, no, I'm not. I'm looking at the clock wrong. Go right ahead, Doc.
How you doing, Reverend Barnett?
Fine. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. Getting up early on Saturday morning to listen to your show.
All right. Well, see, we got a lot of them that sleeps on and doing from 7, 8. They come alive in 8. See, all the lines are jammed now. But we got some that's listening at 7. We're going to have to do some things to wake up that 7 o'clock audience. I got some things I'm going to do to wake them up. But Reverend Wright and I, we talked about doing some things. We're going to have to do it the loud way because it doesn't seem like you can get your day in court without us protesting, picketing in front of certain office buildings and different things like that.
Yeah, well, we are, I pay my dues in this city, and I don't think that what I'm asking is too much. All I want is what every other individual has wanted.
Yeah.
And
that's your constitutional right.
You would not believe some of the patients that's still alive will only come to the emergency room to see me. It's gratifying. It's unfortunate that we have a system, a justice system, that can't stand up on its two legs and say, "Hey, let's give this man his day in court." They hide behind some law, as they always do. But I wanted to just make a point on this second tier of slavery that we're seeing called Medicaid.
Right.
Reverend Barnett, you would not believe what I see in the emergency. These 16, 17, 18-year-old kids on Medicaid, they can't think, they can't write, they can't spell. And they give these Medicaid cards out like it's candy. You can get a Medicaid card quickly. Here's the thing. Then it's not that you don't want to help the people, but this is a enabler. This Medicaid system is just enabling our kids not to think, not to go to school, and they really think they're getting over on the system. It is just astounding what I see come through our emergency room.
And believe me, Doc, I'm very open-minded and wanted everybody to have good health care, and everything. But this dependency on government handouts is going too far. Yes, our children should have an opportunity. But when you're teaching a young child to depend on the government, if he's doing it at 16 and know what's going on, know how to beat the system at 16, what is he going to do at 26? It's going to be the same mentality. So, and really, even, see, man, I can go back. Most people don't realize, I can remember at least 62, 63 years back when people didn't have them, but they were too proud to accept a handout. They get out and work, chop cotton, pick cotton, do anything. They had dignity and pride. And I know what you're going through with. I tell you what, Doc, call me at 9 o'clock. I got to take a short break now, and I need to talk to you.
Okay.
Make sure you do that, because I need to talk to you. All right. We'll be right back in just a second.
Hey, baby.
Sonny Bryan's Catering presents the 14th annual KNON Blues Festival on Saturday, January 26th and Sunday, January 27th at Poor David's Pub. Join us for the biggest blues event of the year, starring the Royal Rhythmaires, Bobby Patterson, Blues Boy Bo, the Aaron Burton Band, Andrew Jr. Boy Jones featuring Kerry LaPie, Pete Barbeck and Seventh Son, Bonafide Blues, the Deep Ellum Rhythm Kings, the Dallas Blues All-Stars featuring Hash Brown and Mike Morgan, the KNON Blues Review with J-Back, Sonny Boy Mark, Blue Lisa, and Jeff Stone, Big Charles Young, the Drew Lane Band with special guest Sir Loin, and the Super Kings. This is the big one. You never know who's going to show up as a special guest. Don't miss out on this huge blues show. Advance tickets are only $15 and are available now at knon.org, Bill's Records in Dallas, and Forever Young in Grand Prairie. See you at the 14th annual KNON Blues Festival presented by Sonny Bryan's Catering.
Hey, baby.
KNON presents its first Gospel Explosion benefit concert of 2013, featuring the Mighty Travelers.
Don't tell me God can't fix it.
Buddy and the Straightway Travelers. And more. Saturday, January the 26th, 2013. Doors open at 5 p.m. at No Walls Ministry, located at 3200 South Lancaster Road in Suite 408 in the back of Lancaster Keys Shopping Center in Dallas. Tickets available at Bubba's Fat Burgers and Barbecue in West Dallas, Elaine's Kitchen in South Dallas, Comp Cleaners in Fort Worth, Forever Young Records in Grand Prairie. God's got a blessing with your name on it, so you don't want to miss this KNON Gospel Explosion benefit concert, hosted by KNON's own Francis Smith and Greg Smith. For more information, 469-471-4180. That's 469-471-4180.
If it's time to get rid of your old gas guzzler, the KNON Vehicle Donation Program can help. There's still a market for those old vehicles, and if you donate it, you're helping to support quality programming here on KNON. Just call 877-KNON-AUTO or go online to KNON.org. We'll take care of everything from pickup to tax paperwork. That's 877-KNON-AUTO or online at KNON.org.
All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. I've just learned that the Washington Redskins doesn't have a phone number. The Cowboys and other teams in the NFL have phone numbers, but something about the Redskins, they don't even have a phone number. Can you multi-billion-dollar operation without a phone number? Okay, all right. But if we find something on them, we'll give it out to you so you can call them and tell them to cut that foolishness out and change the name of that team. All right, 972-647 is the number to call. 942-6473, I'm sorry, is the number to call. All right, let's go to line 4 and say good morning to Art. Good morning, Art. Art is gone. I guess he waited a very long time. Sorry about that, Art. All righty. Let's go to line 2. Let's say good morning to James. All righty. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Reverend Barnett. Palestine on the line.
How are things down in Palestine?
Yes, sir. We're busy down here. Some things I need to speak to you off the air about, but on the air, I'd like to tell you back about the name changing and calling the Redskins and all of that. Back in the day when they brought us as slaves or tried to make us become slaves, that Negro name that was given by the white man, the slave master, we never accepted that. They might have had us putting it on applications and other kind of things for welfare, but that was all part of that book service, that stud service where they had the male making slaves so they can have a production of workers. Our women never accepted it. We never accepted it, and they took away family responsibility from the man because the man had no family when he was a stud server. So we have those tendencies still out here today with this old hut syndrome. Dr. Glenn talks about that. But I also want to say, Reverend Barnett, to be able to attack those things, the city of Dallas and any city has what they call a mission statement, a mission goal, and a vision goal statement. Now, if you don't have money to go sue somebody, go look in the cities, ordinances, and different areas there, and you'll find out that they represent all citizens of that city, the county, commissioner courts, and all of them, and hold them accountable for the public safety because they represent all the people. And if that's offensive, you need to get some groups together, march, a petition, and go in there and visit those city council chambers, the county commissioner chambers, and all the others, and let's get back to basics and get our voices done. I know a lot of time, a lot of us just not going to go. A lot of us scatter than white folks that we usually say. So to those of us that can go and know to go, Jesus had a handful, and at the end, a lot of them ran off and left us, so it don't take many. Mr. Isaac Wynn and I down here in Palestine very diligently are getting things done down here. And we just need a faithful few. And I appreciate what you're doing. The program that I had on TV is no longer on there, but they can't silence my movement. They silenced the TV program, but still we're working diligently down here, and we're willing, and we can bring our cameras and all that way if we need to be. We've been there on many occasions, but we will come and visit and do what we can in the Metroplex up there as we work down here in East Texas.
Well, I'm so glad that you're still on the job. You're still standing on the walls of the city and crying out. And I wish you could get more help. What kind of help? How many leaders, African American leaders in your community is working with you?
Yeah, we don't have much help right now. Mr. Isaac Wynn is working with the pastor that came back here.
What about the elected officials in Palestine?
We have a few, but they're wearing so many hats, you don't know which hat it is at any time. We appreciate the work they've done. Now, the one that I can call names out is Shivers and Denman, 2 black city council person, male, female. Now, they helped me when I was trying to get on the Civil Service Commission board. And the reason for that is racial profiling by the police down here with the racist police chief down here and the city manager. That I was trying to get on this board so we can have a voice, and they spoke on my behalf, but they were voted down. 2 votes won't beat 4 votes, and so that kind of thing happened. And after a while, they had to yield, and just kind of monitor things, I guess, more or less. But we still look to them for some support. But the NACP is sort of stepping up down here. We appreciate the work they're doing, but Mr. Isaac Wynn is trying to work with this pastor to get something like Dr. King had, SCLC, get the ministers on board. We don't have a Black Ministry Alliance down here, and the one that's supposed to be an elder pastor, he's talking about joining in with the one they call Greater, which is the white one. But we want our own.
He's not supporting you?
Our issues. They got a white one called the Greater Ministry Alliance, but there's some issues, historical issues I have to talk to you off the air about why the Greater one wouldn't work for us. We need a Black one that addresses our issues.
Yeah.
That's what we're up against, and a lot of the things I try to give you a call off there. I won't take up all the time because we have so much down here to talk about and discuss that I try to reach you off the air sometime or another. I appreciate what you're doing and keep up the great work. Like I said, if we need to come that way in some way or another, we sure will show up.
All righty. We thank you, James.
Thank you so much.
And keep up the good fight down there in Palestine.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. That clears the line, 972-647-1893. Let's try Art this time. All righty. Good morning, Art.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine. How are you this morning?
Fine. Is this Mr. Barnett?
Yes, it is.
I like to first of all, I talked a while ago so long, and actually I was just talking to the phone because it was disconnected some kind of way. But back to you.
Sorry about that.
I'd like to say thank you first of all for having this show, and this is my first time listening to it, and it won't be my last.
Thank you.
And I just want to just say thank you because we need to have a voice in this community. I'm calling from Dallas.
Okay.
And I'd like to just start out and say that, my Indian blood is offended about these slurs and all.
Well, most African Americans have Indian blood. Most African Americans, especially those whose ancestry is here in the South and Texas. We have a lot of mixed with Tejas Indians. In fact, the Spanish took Texas away from the Tejas Indians and African American slaves who had escaped for freedom in the South. Most people don't realize that, but most of us have Indian blood in us.
Yes, and my African blood is offended about these slurs and what have you. But the little white blood in me never seem to get offended. I don't understand why part of me is offended, but the other part is not offended. It's like a war within yourself. Now, here's what I want to say, is that racism anywhere is a threat to society everywhere. And, I love all of God's creation. I love trees, the birds, animals, and everything. And I'm an animal lover. And I have not been able to get an attorney that got the guts enough to take on the city of Dallas. I had to file a lawsuit on my own. I've been calling all these institutions and everything. I've been attacked by them attacking my, I got private property, signs up, and I've been attacked by them attacking my animals through a locked chain link fence. They put spraying them with pepper spray, claiming that it's the official business and all of that. Just oppression to me. My civil rights have been violated because there was no reason in it, and then they lie and smooth it up under the rug, so to speak. This justice system is broken. And
well, now, what do you have in? What do you have? Dogs?
Yes, I have.
They come in and spraying your dogs, or what's going on?
My dog, she cannot hear anymore. She does. I have to kind of lead her around. She doesn't really see much. Her eyes is all. I have to keep medication in her eyes now. He sprayed me.
Well, who did this?
This is a code officer for the city of Dallas.
Code enforcement. Had your dog escaped? Had he gotten out of the fence?
Wasn't even that kind of code enforcer. He was a code enforcer for checking for violation. for code violation. I got a couple of old pickup trucks that are parked on approved surface. They'd already had closed the case out. I cranked the trucks up and let them see they moved. To this day, I don't know why he was out there doing what he did. A neighbor called me and told me that there was someone out there. It was two of them spraying the dog. I leave from where I was, and when I get there wasn't nobody there. The time that I was sitting there with a guy, with another friend of mine, and this guy, another guy, she goes back up.
Was this on the inside of a fence?
Dogs was on the inside of the fence. They've never, ever been out.
The trucks was on the inside of the fence.
The what?
Were the trucks on the inside of the fence?
Yes, the trucks are on approved surface.
Yeah, but they had to go inside the fence in order to see if the trucks were running, correct?
No, they do not. And you do not enter private property without a warrant.
Yeah,
you do not enter private property. You do not enter a chain link fence that's locked. You do not have the right to go on private property. You do have the right to contact the homeowner or the landowner. Mm-hmm. You do have that right, and then they can let you come in. And I've already had done that. I'd already accommodated them on what they want to do.
Well,
but this guy, he didn't even say he was out there for that. He said he was out there to take pictures. When he come back and was spraying the animals, he wasn't taking pictures. He didn't even have a camera in his hand. He got out with malice in his heart, and he attacked that dog because of the breed of dog. And that's why.
What type of dog was this?
These dogs this was a pit bull. But these dogs are not your average one. Keep in mind that I am an animal trainer, a professional animal trainer.
Uh-huh.
So these dogs are not your average run-of-the-mill.
I'm surprised, as much as these people love dogs,
exactly,
they wouldn't do something about your dog being attacked.
That's why I say what I said. My racism anywhere, a threat to society everywhere. But when they come down to being a man of my color, then they want to turn around and they want to try to shun that. Oh, that's just a pit bull, and he was afraid. Okay, this man.
I tell you what you do.
I can't find an attorney nowhere to help me with this situation.
You can't?
I cannot find one.
Call me after 9 o'clock and I'll get your number. I'll give you an attorney. We'll see. Let him fight
I need
for
somebody that's got guts enough to go up against the city of Dallas for this. It's like fire shut up in my bones.
All right.
Barnett.
All right.
I'm serious.
Call me after 9. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. The clues are 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 3 and say good morning to Billy. All right. Good morning, Billy. You there?
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for waiting so long. Thank you.
Oh, that's all right. I enjoyed the show and enjoying you, and I enjoyed the topic. I have a question to ask about the black person that discovered that invent the cell phone, cordless phone.
Yes. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, You said the guy that invented the cordless phone from Terrell, Texas.
Terrell, Texas. His name, you know?
Well, let me look it up. I'll look it up on there. I've been knowing it for years, and I can't think of it right now. We'll look it up, and I'll announce it before the show go off. We give you his name from Terrell, Texas. This whole revolution with this cordless phone and with all the other stuff, that's what laid the ground for it. Everything you have was what this black inventor did. This black man invented. I think, he worked at some kind of technical place, and he came up with the idea and did it. Believe me, I'll get it to you before the show go off. I'll get you the name.
Okay. And I got one more question to ask you.
Yes.
This is my first time hearing no such thing. Thank you for the information.
It's your first time hearing it. Is that right?
Sir. Yes, sir. You never get too old to learn. And what did you think about the Census Bureau?
The Census Bureau?
Yeah, with how they asked this question on there.
Well, you have to watch it. They gotten tricky now. They getting yes.
And I just wondering about that.
Yes, his name is Terry Paul.
How you spell it, please?
Terry.
Okay, Terry.
Paul. Paul. Or is it Paul Terry?
Okay, like Paul in the Bible, right?
Yeah. What is his name?
All right.
Sorry, we were just trying to get down real fast. It's Terri.
Terri.
Pall.
Terry, Paul, or Pal, or whatever. It's Pall, right? Okay.
Okay, I appreciate it. I want to make one more precious name there. Jesus is great, and he will triumph and help us triumph victoriously in the midst of our tribulation, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Enjoy your show.
All right, I thank you.
Have a great one.
All righty then. All right, thank you. I tell you what, when we come back, we'll hear from the job line from Mr. Greg Barber, and then so get your pen and paper out right now. We're up against a short break, and you can call us at 972-647-1893. We'll be right back.
211 Texas, a program of the Texas Health and Human Services Commission, is committed to helping Texas citizens connect with the services they need. Whether by phone or internet, our goal is to present accurate, well-organized, and easy-to-find information from over 60,000 state and local health and human services programs. We have programs ranging from child care to GED instruction, from dental care to food pantries to public utility services. Contact 211 at 211texas.org or dial 211 to connect with the resources you need. If dialing 211 directly doesn't work on your telephone, you can call 877-541-7905 for 211 Texas. Don't let your family go without the help they need.
Want to hear some great Texas blues? KNON has the CD for you. KNON's Texas Blues Radio Volume 5, our latest blues compilation CD to benefit community radio, sponsored by Forever Young Records. This CD features 15 tracks and 60 minutes of great original Dallas-Fort Worth blues from Tutu Jones, Blues Boy Bo, Buddy Whittington, Andrea Dawson, Kirkland James, Sonny Colley, Johnny Red and the Roosters, the Chris Watson Band, the Two Tones, the Rough Cut Blues Band, Jeff Stone and Charlie Love, Dave Millsap, Sirloin and the Ash Kicking Machine, Michael J. and the Paul Bird Band, and JJ and the Detonators. We're only selling 1,000 copies and it will never be reissued. Get your copy now at Forever Young Records in Grand Prairie, Record Town in Fort Worth, and in Dallas at Bill's Records and Rewind Music. The CD is available as an MP3 download at KNON.org. All proceeds benefit community radio, KNON. For more info on Texas Blues Radio Volume 5, visit us at KNON.org. Get your copy now and hear some real Texas blues. Your ears will thank you for it.
All right, we're back on Church Information Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. All righty, we've got studios and everybody in and producing and everything. Got Clint producing. We got Doc Dockery. And we have, what's that nickname they give you? Action Annie is running the board. All righty. And you can call us at 972-647-1893. But right now, let's go to line one and say good morning to Mr. Greg Barber. All righty. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Reverend Barnett.
Fine. How are you this morning?
Doing fine, doing fine.
Great. Are there any jobs out there?
There are some jobs out here this morning on our SAT job line. That's Solutions and Access Today job line, brought to you every Saturday morning during Church Information and Open Forum, which starts at 7 a.m. here on KNON 89.3, the voice of the people. This morning on the job line, we have New York Life Insurance is looking for customer service representatives. They're asking you to apply online at www.sjobs.brassring.com. Once again, that web address is www.sjobs.brassring.com. Clean Energy is looking for service technicians. They're asking you to apply online at www.cleanenergyfuels.jobinfo.com. Once again, that web address is www.cleanenergyfuels.jobinfo.com. Modis, M-O-D-I-S, is looking for warehouse workers. They're asking you to apply online at www.modis.com.
Once again, that web address is www.modis.com. Pilkington is looking for warehouse workers and drivers. They're asking you to apply online at www.pilkington.com. Once again, that's Pilkington. Flat glass delivery is looking for warehouse workers and delivery drivers. They're asking you to apply at www.pilkington.com. Once again, that's www.pilkington.com. Uline is looking for warehouse workers. They're asking you to apply online at www.uline.com. Once again, that's Uline is looking for warehouse workers. They're asking you to apply online at www.uline.com. Traxxas is looking for warehouse associates. They're asking you to apply online at www.traxxas.com. Once again, that web address is www.traxxas.com. If you are a child-loving, patient, and energetic individual and would like to work in the daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. Once again, if you are a child-loving, patient, and energetic individual and would like to work in the daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. You are a person affected by addiction and need assistance with your recovery efforts, or an ex-offender trying to make their transition back into mainstream society and need assistance with job searches. The number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Once again, if you are a person affected by addiction and need assistance with your recovery efforts, or an ex-offender trying to make their transition back into mainstream society and need assistance with job searches, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Let me repeat that. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. The late, great Bob Marley once said, get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. And with that, we bring our SAT job line to a close.
All righty. Thank you, Greg. Thank you. That's a great job, as always, with our Solution and Action Today job line. All righty. You can call us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. All right. Where are we going? Line 2. All right. Let's say good morning to Lee on line 2. All righty. Good morning, Lee. Hello? All right. 972-647-1893. I guess Lee is gone. And we are talking about our situation here. The Washington Redskins. We started off with this. It's a situation that we need to render. A very popular team. Very popular team. But at the same time, they have this problem of the moniker, the name, the Redskins. Sad situation, the Redskins. We gotta get rid of these particular things, get rid of these things, and get rid of all of this name calling and offensive ways of doing things. 972-647-1893. We have a lot of things that are going on that we could get rid of. All righty, 972-647-1893. We were looking at a lot of situations that's coming up. We have the inauguration coming on the 21st. That's on Monday, the same day we'll be celebrating Dr. King's birthday. Now, Dr. King's birthday is really the 15th. We're talking about 3 or 4 days from now. What's the day? The 12th? 3 days from now? The 15th. The 15th. That's Tuesday. Dr. King's birthday. What are we going to be doing? Are we going to the parade? What is those parades representing? Are they representing Dr. King? Is this what we going to teach, I say year after year, our children? This is what Dr. King was all about, going up and down the streets, shaking our behinds. Is that what we're teaching our children? I know some of these, they just having fun. Look, it's time for us to always just turn everything we got into some kind of fun and have no seriousness about it. Come this next Saturday, next Monday, to me is a sad day. It's a sad day what we are doing, and said we are celebrating Dr. King's birthday. That's sad. That's a sad situation that we have to deal with every year, and people, grown folks, is allowing this to happen and pushing this, and just to attract a crowd and everything. In fact, Dr. King's Day don't even need to be a parade. It needs some marches. We need to be marching. We need to be going up and down the streets, marching and really standing for what he's doing. Do you think he would be the drum major for this parade, or that parade Saturday or Monday? Would he be the drum major for that? We're celebrating his birthday. Is he the drum major for such derogatory actions that will be going on out there in the middle of the streets of all of our cities across America? Would he be the drum major for things that are going on? And when we see how people are reacting, no wonder we can't go forward. Many of the things that we have to celebrate, we turn into a mockery. And this is a downright mockery to much of our celebrations of Dr. King's birthday. A downright mockery. When we turn things that really should be dear to us into something that we lift up, something we lift up before God and thank Him and give us the wisdom and the knowledge to duplicate what has happened. No, we're not trying to duplicate it, because we all want to clown and go on and shake and up and down the streets instead of making this a day of event that God has helped deliver us from some of our ills and some of our evils that have been so beset us. We are still carrying on like slaves. I mean, we're still carrying on like slaves. And it's sad in the situation that we have that we still will do this. Yes, it's all right to have beautiful floats. It's all right to show things and commemorate this day. But what are we going to do with our young people? Lord have mercy, when they come down Martin Luther King Drive, it's a disgrace before God. Yes, I'm calling them all out. The city of Dallas, whoever put on these parades. I know y'all will say you're celebrating Dr. King's birthday. Let's be for real. You're not. You're just having a good time, and and you can get them out and put Dr. King's name on it. That's not what he stood for. This man marched. Many of his marches, they were beaten. They were arrested. They had fire hoses shot on them. They had dogs sicked on them. And we out there shaking up and down the streets talking about we're celebrating him. This was a dignified man. This was a man of great courage. This was a godly man. And we are carrying this mess on. It's a sad, sad situation. I really, sometimes it's almost mind-boggling, but it's not, because I've been around too long. I understand us. We'll do anything to get some notoriety. We'll do anything to be seen. It's sad. It's sad. It's a sad situation. All right, 972-647-1893. Let's go to the lines and say good morning to Randy. All righty. Good morning, Randy.
That is why you are my pastor.
Oh, thank you, Randy.
All that you just said is why you are my pastor.
Thank you.
I'm proud to say it.
Well, it's sad when we allow our young people to get up and get in parade and disgrace themselves in the middle of the streets, tens of thousands of people attending, and it's known as one of the, we have some of the biggest parades in the state or in the nation here in Dallas, and we allow them to disgrace our leaders like this. And one of our greatest leaders, if not our greatest, one of them, Dr. King, to disgrace him like that.
Yes, and it's not just for the black man, it's for the whole poor of America.
Yeah.
People got to realize
he
moved a lot of poor white people along, probably more the poor.
Yeah, he probably helped more poor whites than he did black people.
Yeah, here's my suggestion, Brother Barnett, because how many years has it been now that the pools have been closed when they didn't have the money to keep them running, but somewhere in a couple of months they had $1 billion or whatever it was, $1 million to build the Omni hotel down there. Let's start a movement in the city of Dallas. If Martin Luther King was here today, he would be saying, look, we marching until they open them pools up for the Southern community. Why don't we start a movement in Martin Luther King's name to open them pools up and don't quit until we get it?
Well, you see, you have to understand when it comes to something meaningful, we have been taught, we've been conditioned to don't stand up for meaningful things. Stand up for foolishness. And if you got something that's meaningful that has done happened in your community and for you, make a mockery out of it. We've been conditioned, and most of our people don't even realize we've been conditioned to think that way. It's a sad situation. I mean, the things that we should really be lifting up and celebrating and honoring, we are out there, oh God. I tell you what, if any of you all never been to one of these parades, go out there and come back week after next and call me.
Yeah.
Call me.
We forget
tell me what you saw.
We're forgetting it was Reverend Martin Luther King.
Yes, sure. He was a godly man. But this is the way we celebrate him, in the most undignified way. We try to find the most undignified thing, and people, the children just having fun. That's why the people come out and see it. They're not coming out to celebrate Dr. King's birthday. They come out to see a show. You know why they don't want to celebrate it in the right way, Martin Luther King? Is because they're too scared to do it like he did it. Well, and they also know that he called for responsibility. Right. He called for action. Do you think if he was alive, he would be at one of his parades? Do you think he'd be out there standing there watching and saying, this is how they are celebrating my life, what I gave up for my people and for other people, all the poor in America? Do you think he'd be happy with that? All right. Thank you. Let me try to get another call. All right. Who is this? Billy? Blevin? What is this? Bilvin. All right. Bilvin, good morning.
How you doing today?
Fine. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm piggybacking on with what I heard last week about the school system and how that and what you was talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been studying us for at least 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at this is science at work, bad science at work against us.
Mm-hmm.
You have a group of scientists who have made Black America a big laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
And they remove certain social components from the school system, like the male, the black male, out of the school system.
Mm-hmm.
All the social orientation that makes a kid social,
mm-hmm.
Civilized.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those things are moved from the equation.
Very good.
just like in the black community, the same thing. This is an experimental environment.
Mm-hmm.
This is controlled in behavior through reward and punishment, behavior modification, and a lot of these things are. And what were you saying that the kids going down the street?
Yeah.
Disgracing Martin King's birthday and his memory.
Mm-hmm.
We do those things because there's no foundation. Martin King came up off of a strong social foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Today, there is no social foundation. That has been taken away deliberately. See, I know this because I understand social systems and social institutions.
Blevin, so you're saying this is not by accident?
No, and I don't want to go with the conspiracy thing. I'm saying what I know scientifically.
Mm-hmm.
What I know, I can create the environment that we have in any white suburban area.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere I can duplicate what's going on in black America anywhere. Because if you understand the science behind it, and that's where we are getting misled because we're not understanding the science behind it. So everything.
Look here, Blevin, I wish I could talk to you long, but I'm completely out of time. It's about a minute till 8, and I got to get off here. But call me next week, and I'd like to discuss this with you. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for calling. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you, Fanny. Thank you, Doc, and thank you, Clint. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. I'm the senior pastor of Heavenly Joy Church. I'm located at Bruden and Masters right here in the city of Dallas. And come by and see us. Service again at 11 o'clock, Sunday school at 9:30. Got to get out of here, got to run. Coming next is Workers Beat, and stay tuned to all the great programming this morning that's coming right here on KNON 89.3 FM on your dial. You have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.
KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.